back. Now we're going to kick it on over to our On the Spots correspondents, Dylan and Gabe, who are reviewing Peacemaker.
Hey everybody, I'm Gabe.
I'm Dylan, and today we're reviewing Peacemaker.
Let's take a look at that trailer.
Have you ever heard of a guy named Peacemaker?
No.
He is a trained killer. We've got trouble with that maniac.
Go! What are you waiting for?
That thing better not crap back there.
You can't house train an eagle, dude. Not without stealing its soul. Hey, Dad. It's been kind of a rough go for me lately, Dad.
You don't say.
Somebody shot me, a building fell on me.
You let somebody shoot you?
It's not like I invited him to come shoot me, Dad.
Pathetic.
I thought you were in prison for life.
I work for the government.
Post office?
Do you think they'd let me out of prison to deliver mail?
I don't know. It's the first government job I could think of.
I kill people for it, okay?
This task force doesn't officially exist, which leaves us on our own.
We call our targets butterflies. They are a serious threat to the safety of American citizens.
There's something weird going on. You think me and Vigilante are too stupid to notice.
Hey, everyone! Which one's me and which one's Eagly?
Okay, you're half right, but you score 50% on the test at school. What do you get? A D.
An F.
School wasn't my bag. It's for dorks.
That guy's a clown.
But there's something about him that's sad.
Is your target in sight?
Peacemaker, take him out.
Even the kids?
Yes, terminate him immediately. Take the shot.
He told me to kill kids. He didn't say why.
Because right now the world needs a son of a bitch. And you're the only one I got.
I thought you loved peace, no matter how many men, women, and children you needed to kill to get it.
I don't know. Lately I'm having feelings about things. Dad, maybe I'm a grower, not a shower.
What?
An individual you don't like, and then you learn to like.
You're comparing yourself to a chode.
Not in a bad way.
Your dad is not a good man.
Still family.
My advice? Cut it out with the introspection. The mind is a den of scorpions better left running from, not towards.
We just got shot at! You ever been shot at?
No.
Two jerks in costumes and a couple of rejects.
It's like a real team out there.
Yo, what the hell is that?
It's a grenade I tied to a Russian tank shell.
Why not just the grenade?
Grenade blows up like 2 people.
How many people does this blow up?
I don't know. I invented it this morning.
What?
Eat peace, mother.
So, Gabe, Peacemaker, this is a James Gunn production. I think this is a bold statement when I'm going to say this, but I think this is the best thing James Gunn has done with a comic book property ever. And I know it's a lot coming from the guy who made Guardians and all that stuff. But
No, that's a bold statement, but it might not be wrong. I will definitely say that the intro to Peacemaker, which is maybe the best intro in a television show in a long time, reminds me so deeply of the intro to Guardians of the Galaxy 2. And they both have this effect. Like, as soon as that intro happened, you did not look away from that film. Peacemaker is so deeply filled with that James Gunn charisma. This is a James Gunn television show. You can tell it's written by him. But even more than that, you know, it's buoyed by some amazing performances. Freddie Stroma is so much fun as Vigilante. John Cena, and now I'm a big professional wrestling fan, as I'm wearing a professional wrestling shirt right now. And so I grew up, you know, seeing John Cena and seeing him on TV all the time. And so when a lot of people were saying, like, oh, I don't think John Cena can make it in Hollywood, I was like, no. This dude has been holding up a dying company for 20 years. Okay, Mans can hold a television show. And he did. And so this, you know, it's such a good show. You know, they're just... But there are definitely a few parts about it that I think make it stand out. And I think, first of all, like we said, is James Gunn's writing.
He's getting so good with just using obscure comic book characters. That's what I love so much about it. It's not like we're watching Batman and Superman or someone big like that. We're watching Peacemaker. Who is Peacemaker? You know what I mean? Like, I didn't really know who he was going to the show, and now going out of the show, I love Peacemaker and I love Vigilante, as you said. Freddie Stroma, great performance. But exactly, it's his work with these just very B-list comic book characters.
Oh, these are D-list.
Judo
Master is a D-list supervillain.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and he has this ability to take such powerful things out of these simple moments.
Yeah.
There's a reoccurring joke throughout this show about why a character dyes his beard, and it culminates, in this actual deep emotional moment about a man just admitting that he's lonely and he's looking for a relationship.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's like these one-off jokes from the first 2 episodes will come back in the final episode, and it has such a lot of emotional payoff. And I'm like, wow, it's I didn't even realize his writing is so precise in this show. I love it.
And he's also, James Gunn is not afraid to tackle some hard things in this show. There's discussion about white supremacy, and then this entire show is a theme about familial trauma and unpacking it, and how the cycles of pain can spread throughout a family. And I think that's a really interesting theme, and it's not something we see in superhero shows very often. It's always just defeat the bad guy, good versus evil. And so the fact that James Gunn took the time to create Christopher Smith as this nuanced character, he's a murderer and he kills people for in the name of peace, but he's doing it because he was so deeply hurt by his father. And I think it's really cool because it gives us a reason to root for him. And we just hate White Dragon. As you're watching it, you're just you are a bad person. And so, James Gunn's writing really elevates this show. But then there's just some great performances by the supporting actors, too. Yeah. Leota is so much fun, She's...
It's like they shock me with their performances. I feel like I'm not even going to like these characters off the bat. And then it's just, again, they're all the performances are top notch. This is a very well acted TV show.
And they squeeze great acting out of a CGI eagle. And you're just Eagly just becomes everyone's favorite character.
James Gunn with it. What is it with him with just making animals just the best?
He's just so good. It's like Weasel in Suicide Squad. In it for 30 seconds and you're you're my new favorite.
Exactly. And what you were saying about Christopher Smith, it's just it's I didn't, even in the Suicide Squad, I didn't love him as a character, but it's just seeing him wrestle with his morality, essentially, and just is he a good hero or not? He just questions that early on in the show, and I just think that was a great focus.
Yeah, he really connects it back to the ending of the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
We get Rick Flagg's dying statement, Peacemaker, what a joke. And that's a thing that we see carried on through the show. And so it's great that he maintains that continuity in his storytelling. And so, definitely. We've given you a lot of reasons to love Peacemaker. Dylan, what are you going to rate the show?
For me, this is as good as it gets when it comes to comic book shows. I gotta be honest. I feel 9 to 10 range. It hits every mark you want. I'm happy that DC has, even how much they're in a mess right now, they have something on their resume that's wow, that was really, really good.
Yeah.
And I'm just really got to say, what about you, Gabe?
So originally I was going to give this a 9, but then I watched the last episode. Yeah. And we get that cameo from the Justice League. Ezra Miller comes to do it, Jason Momoa, and John Cena's just yelling at them. And so I was 10 out of 10. It's this is, I'm a big comics fan. This is the most fun I've had in the DCEU. And it's really, I just think, what I needed to get through the end of 2021 and the beginning of 2022.
I honestly totally agree.
Yeah. All right,
yeah. Thank you for stopping by, guys. We'll catch you guys later.
That's all for this week. If you want to follow more Review Crew content, go to the Review Crew Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, as well as Orange TV Network on Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, and YouTube.
Find the Review Q's podcast on Spotify or on our website at orangetvnetwork.syr.edu, where you can find our blog and more OTN information.
Check out this week's screening hosted by University Union House of Gucci. Also, be sure to check out Friday Night Movie Night on OTN. This week's movies are Steamboat Bill Jr. and Charade.
See you next week.